Do you believe God knows how to get the best out of you? I think it's worth talking about on this Monday morning. Good Monday morning. Years ago, when I was walking through my divorce, I had a friend walking through one at the same time, and our journeys looked very different. She had to struggle for things that I didn't have to struggle for or with. She had a little girl to take care of in the middle of all of that, and I just had 2 Shih Tzus. And I felt like she was having to wage wars that I didn't have to wage. And I remember sitting with my counselor, now ministry partner, Ken Edwards, and I was sharing this with him, and I was feeling very kind of, I won't say shameful, but I felt bad that her situation seemed so much harder than mine. And he said something to me that I'll never forget. He said, "Denise, God knows how to get the best out of us." And as I watched our journeys, mine and her, transpire, I realized that was so true, because do you know she actually ended up putting her home together? She restored her marriage. She married her former spouse again. And for me, do you know that the solitude and stillness of those years allowed the Lord to write the Reclaiming Your Heart book on my heart so that I could then write it and put it on the page, and a ministry was developed from that season. So God truly does know how to get the best out of us. I heard Pastor Stephen Furtick say on a message during this season, he said, "We're all in the same storm, but we're all in different boats." And that was such a good analogy, because we are. And so your boat may not look like my boat, even though we're walking through the same storm. And you may question, why do our boats look different? And so maybe you could go back to this awareness that God knows how to get the best out of you. And what it takes for you will look different for me. And in fact, Paul even kind of wrote it this way to the Romans in Romans chapter 12, verse 1. He said it this way. He said, "So here's what I want you to do. God helping you take your everyday, ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work, and walking around life, and place it before God as an offering." So what I want to encourage you today to do in the boat that you're in is to place it before the Lord as an offering and say, "Lord, I don't know why my boat doesn't look like my mama's boat or my friend Susie's boat or my friend Joey's boat, but I just lay my boat before you, trusting that you know exactly what kind of boat I need to be in this season." Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for Him. Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. And this is a moment where we need to take stock into how attached we've been to the culture that we live in. Do we look different from it? Or do we blend into it? In this moment when the storm seems the greatest, are we able to offer resources that look different than what culture is offering hearts and lives that are afraid and broken? Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking about it. Instead, fix your attention on God. Don't look at the storm. Don't consume yourself with social media and the media and all the dialogue they're giving you or the discourse they're giving you about what the storm should look like or what's happening with it. Pay attention to the master of the storm, the one that looked at the storm and said, Peace, be still, and the storm obeyed his commands. That's who our eyes need to be fixed on in this season. You will be changed from the inside out. Readily recognize what he wants from you and then quickly respond to it. Could it be that this season is allowing us ears to hear things that we didn't even have the opportunity to hear before because we were so distracted? The noise was so loud and so consuming that our hearts couldn't even get quiet to hear what God wanted to say. So now we need to be stilling ourselves to listen. And then when we hear what he's asking of us, we need to do it quickly. Unlike the culture around you, always dragging you down to its level of maturity, God brings the best out of you, develops well-formed maturity in you. Those seasons of storms in life, if we'll lean into the Lord, if we'll fix our gaze, if we'll surrender our everyday, ordinary, going about, sleeping and eating life to him, holds within it the opportunity to mature us and grow us in a way we never have before. Does God know how to get the best out of us? Yeah, he does. And so often it looks nothing like we thought it would. But he can't do it for us unless we allow him to. But trust me, if we do, there's no telling what he can birth from it. For me, he birthed a ministry. For my friend, he restored her home. What may he desire to do for you? If your heart was encouraged today, please know that we have many other resources available for you. You can discover all of those at reclaiminghearts.org.